tutorial about the Hitfilm for Express editor. If you want to import some media, you need to have it open in a file manager, or click import, and drag it in to the media panel, or click open. As you can see, this is me failing at Slither.io. This is the trimmer. We can trim the video so we don't have to do it when we're actually editing and then move everything around. I'm going to click set in point when I want the video to actually start. You could also press I on your keyboard. As you can see, it starts pretty much when I get into the game. We're going to do the same thing for the end, but instead of setting an in point, we're going to set an out point. You can do this by clicking the set out point or pressing O on your keyboard. The grey bit is actually the length of the video, and as you can see, if I hover over it, it says the in point, out point and duration of the video. This is useful if you want it to be a particular length. Then we click insert clip. It will insert it wherever your playhead is currently at. If there's another clip in the way, it will split it, so make sure that it's not in the middle of a clip. Now I want to add this music, and there's already some audio here, but this audio isn't really anything, so I'm going to click unlink, which unlinks 2 tracks, so I can select one at a time, and I'm going to delete the audio. If there was actually some audio, I could just drag it on, and then it will create a new audio track. In this case though, that doesn't matter. So here we have my music, but I'm going to trim it so that it's the correct length. You can fiddle around with this as much as you like. There's no limit to how much you can change it. There we go. Now we have a new that's almost exactly the same. This, you can change the volume of the track, and this, you can change the opacity. There is also another way to do this, but this is much quicker. You can also organise your footage or other music and stuff into folders. You just click the new folder, then you drag it in. This is especially useful if you're making a long movie or something, because you don't want it to get all mixed up. These are all the tabs you can do. As you can see, they're similar as in the compositor, which you may have seen in my previous Hitfilm video. The history is particularly amazing because you can see every single action that you've done. If I select the video, then I can change the properties of the video. I can change the size or scale, rotation, position, anchor point, and opacity. you can add some effects, but not as many as in the compositor, because some of the effects only work on the layers, which you can only use in the compositor. Now let's import some new things. I click import, then I just drag in my intro, click cancel, there it is, in the trimmer. But in this case I don't want to trim it, so I can either just click insert clip, or I can just drag it straight onto the timeline. I can also put it onto the different audio and video tracks, and then move the gameplay back a bit, and then fade it in. As you can see, it just cuts straight to it. But if I add a fade, which I'll do in a moment, and adjust the opacity of the intro, as I'm doing now, then it will fade in. Here we have a fade to colour transition. I'll drag it onto my gameplay footage, and then we have a slightly transparent intro. There you go. Using the second video layer, you could also do picture in picture if you wanted a face cam or something. There are also several more effects you can apply, such as the curves. This is under color correction, and you just drag it on, go to the effects tab, open it up, and then this may seem daunting, but if you just fiddle around with it a bit, you'll find something that looks good. And then you can copy it to all the other videos that you have. There are also some presets which you can use. A standard kind of action movie appearance is an S-curve. Just have a play around with it and see what's good for you. Now if you see, we can click the tick box, and that will allow us to see what it looks like before and after the effect. I personally think it looks a lot duller without the effect, so I'm going to keep it. This is just showing some of the extremes that you can do. In 1 second, I'll show you an example of an effect that cannot be applied in the editor. As you can see, the lens blur says layer only. That means we cannot use it in the editor. And if we drag it on, it won't let us. But if we try and drag on, say, a diffuse, then it will work. There we go. You can also zoom in and out using that bar at the bottom, and these are the audio meters so that you can see how much audio is going through each side. As always, there will be question marks everywhere, so if you're stuck, then you can click it and it will launch your browser and open a page all about those. Once you're done with your video, click the little roll of film icon at the bottom. That's to export. You can export to YouTube as an MP4, an image sequence, or an AVI. I'm going to do MP4 for this one, and just click export, give it a name, then click save or enter, and it will start to composite. This is the finished result.
As ever, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.